Hello, my name is Raymond Karchevsky. I am a living Christ. Today I should like to speak to you about a living Christ and the truth, about Satanism on civilized earth. I'm going to spill the beans, spiritual beans, the secret that has been withheld from you since the beginning of time here on earth. A time-bound, fictional universe projected by a universal mind, however viewed through the prisms of intellectualism. A trained, split, satanic mind that is the creator of hell on earth, here and now, in every after moment experienced by every living, breathing, flesh and blood, sentient natural man or woman since the beginning of time. You'll notice that I've mentioned the word time. Time is of the intellect, a fictional concept. And that time-bound mind, the intellect, is satanic. It's all you have to understand to break loose from the spell, the limiting spell of hypnosis that is the intellectual mind upon any civilized man or woman that has ever existed. We're all Satanists if we live in our intellectual mind. I'm in your mind also. Therefore, I am in hell. But most of you can see that the powers, the energies that dictate your level of life, your quality of life, do not apply to me. That's because I understand who I am. And I understand who you are. But you don't understand who you are. Therefore, we don't connect. So when I talk to you, I'm speaking to your spirit, which is who you really are. But you listen to me through your filtering images, words, concepts, and ideas that have been trained into you through habitual patterns of stimulus, response, reward, and punishment. That's what training is all about. That's how you train an animal. And that's how you train a human being also. A human being is much more than that of the animal kingdom. The body is of the animal kingdom. It is material and it is functional, but it is limited to the forces of birth and death. The spirit, however, is transcendent of those limitations. The spirit is eternal. That's who you really are. And that's who I have been speaking to on the internet for these past 25 years. I want you to look at the past experiences of this Christ with you and with everyone like you, and watch the reactions to me. They're violent, they're fearful, they're suspicious, and they create illusions of their own and project them outwardly. We call that gossip. You talk about me, but you don't know me. You know your image of me, and that image is of your judgment. You have already made up your intellectual mind, what you think of me, because you are a slave to your intellectual mind. How did you get that way? You were born into this world, and your parents passed on their conditioning, their fears, their apprehensions, their anger, their biases, the pain that they've experienced. They passed that on to you also. It's called heritage. It's called lifeline. It's also called habit. You grow up with the pain of such habit, reinforced daily by organizations that you create and give authority. Organizations like government and religions and banks, corporations, commerce. Understand? What do all these things have in common? They're dualistic. In other words, they are split images that you entertain in your mind, and it's your judgment that makes them what they are. You create government, therefore you are government. You create religions, therefore you are religions. You call them beliefs. But they have a devastating effect upon you. They hold your attention. They dictate your behavior. And you have satanic legal profession, judges, lawyers, all pretenders, all playing a role in a fictional world of words that are common, but the definitions aren't common. They have a different definition to them. They have a legal definition to them. So when you speak them and you give them authority over you, it's their definition that counts. So you suspend yourself in your powers and you abide by their rules, right and wrong, good and evil. You understand? You wind up confused and they wind up with power and your life force in the form of money. And you consent to give them that money voluntarily, although it is painful for you because you're in such conflict within. You don't know the source of your pain. You're too damn confused to understand how that comes about. So you agree. And if you disagree, partially is the key word, unless you are holistically balanced, you are a Satanist, an intellectual, and you are bound to the rules of the intellectual world. The scientists, the arts and crafts, the arts and sciences. Who creates the illusions in your life? Not the arts, memories, habitual patterns passed on from generation to generation, the bloodlines. In science, who has created pollution? Who has created so-called progress that is killing you, killing life on Earth, polluting the waters, killing the fish, killing nature, the animals, polluting the air? You understand? You've lost your balance. You've lost track of who you are. For many of you, you have never known who you are. That's why you were sent to school. Because your parental conditioning could last only so long before you reached its limitations. And so schools were created to send your children to them, to learn how to cope in this world, the intellectual world of dualism, of hell. Originally, it's for reading, writing, and arithmetic, the 3 R's. But you can see that this world has gone well beyond that. And you can see that the schools have gone well beyond that. And what they have created was fear. They've created power. They have created the tyranny of duality, of authority. And they have instilled in you the aspect of honoring authority, submitting yourself to authority. They have created you into a slave. You've lost your balance. You've agreed. You've contracted. You have stricken a contract with the devil, with Satan, the god of the intellect, the god of intellectualism, of duality. What is duality? Duality is more than one, at least two. What does that create? It creates a split. Me and you. What does that split create? Conflict, confusion, angst, competition, war, killing, crime. All those are of duality. All those are all based in civilized thinking, satanic thinking. So in that satanic thought, you are taught also further satanic concepts as good, virtuous, and bad, evil. So you create a dual mindset. It's based in belief. You believe yourself to be more intelligent, more knowledgeable, stronger, and thus you create the opposite image of that which you project upon other people, and you judge them to be evil, weak, a victim, while you are the conqueror. Understand? That's what civilized thought is all about. And along comes this Christ, this simple man, this balanced man of truth. And his balance is unmistakable. You can't shake him. You can't judge him with your own fictional judgments and make it stick. They fall away. They have nothing to hold on to, grab on to. And so they come back to you, and you feel the pain of your judgment, the friction of your judgment. Well, this living Christ remains unaffected. Now, look at my videos, more than 600 of them. Not all. All you need to do is get through the first few, but you'll find that very difficult because it will torture you, because it will mirror you as you are, and you begin to feel your own duplicity. That duplicity is your teacher in hell. That's your spirit that you have given up in favor of adopting the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, intellectualism, hell. Look at this world. There is no denial. It's based in dualism. There's no denial that it is full of violence and conflict, which requires dualism. There can be no dualism, or rather any violence in non-dualism. There's only what is, and what is truth. So, I still haven't given you the full picture. And to do that, I must reintroduce you to your non-dualistic subconscious mind, the mind of the Creator. You are the creator of your life, and it comes by the actions that you have taken in your subconscious mind. However, you are unbalanced. You have given up your subconscious mind in favor of supporting the satanic, dualistic, conscious intellect, formed by habitual patterns of training, which follow you throughout life. The perpetrators of these satanic practices are schools, where they implant suggestion in you, and media, which reinforces those patterns of thoughts that have been planted to you in schools to make you compliant slaves to words, to ideas. Understand? I keep repeating the word understand. Do you even know what that means? For most of you, I'm afraid that you don't. For you believe. You do not have a wholeness, a grasp of the energy of what is experienced in the moment. What you have are preconceived ideas that have been trained into you by outside sources, satanic sources. But it's so common to you that you dare not question it, because if you do, you will be punished. Look at your society, the civilized world. I'm not talking about here in America. I'm talking about everywhere in the civilized world. You have your political authorities and you have your religious authorities. In primitive time, you could attribute that to the warrior, the government, force, fear, split, and the witch doctor, religion, superstition, beliefs, myths, legends, concepts. Understand? Look at yourselves deeply. Stop everything you're doing and sit down quietly, and you will see that what I am saying to you is truth. You are so unbalanced that you are in fear of living. I have shown you how to break loose of your satanic spell binding habit of belief. All you have to do now is see the truth, the what is, holistically, without interpreting it, and act upon it. Your life will change immediately. No more fear. No more anxiety. For all you are anxious of and all that you fear are your own thoughts. Break loose. Rise above the dualistic prison cell of the intellect, the satanic intellect, and be at one with truth. Rise to the non-dualistic state of Christ consciousness. Do that and your world will change. And as you act from that changed world, you shall have an impending influence upon those who are clinging to their satanic conditioning as children, and you will break the spell, break the habit, and you will free them. What is left? It's love. Love is oneness, truth. No conflict, no contradiction, no argument, no debate, no wars, no crime, no insanity. Do you understand? Just simple truth, simple love, simple oneness. And you are it. Now, do you know what Christ is? You don't have to believe in Christ. All you have to do is drop the satanic influence of the intellect that is killing you, making you a slave, living off your life energy, money. Live the life you are meant to live, but you must go through the pain of understanding the lies that have been conditioned into you, that you believe to be true, and thus create a fictional world of life and death. Thank you.